In this video, I'm going to react to the 10 coldest states in America. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. This is the place where I react to music, media, sports, anime, anything related to popular culture. I'll watch it with an open mind and give you my 100% honest reaction to it. And if you could please hit that like button early, I'd really appreciate it. Now, this should be interesting because, you know, America's probably like the country with the most variation in terms of the climates there. Like you've got states such as like Nevada that are super hot a lot of the time. You've got states like Alaska, which are really cold. And as someone who wants to go on a, quite a long trip there, I've wondered, where are the coldest places? Like, and how cold does it get there? Like, I've heard that, winters in Chicago can be really brutal, as well as in New York as well. But, what are the actual coldest? So what is the coldest state and the other states that you've really got to like wrap up in some layers, if you're going to survive down there? So let's go. This is going to be me reacting to the 10 coldest states in America. Let's do it. All right.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the world according to Briggs. We are in the dead of winter as I record this video, and I thought we could take a look at what states are the coldest on average. Now, I'm sure there's some dude in Minnesota whose nuts froze to his inner thigh while he was checking the mail last week, and he already thinks it's Minnesota. Well, he might be right. You gotta watch the video to find out. If you know anything about geography, you glanced at a globe, stayed awake during a science class once, or just has some good old-fashioned common sense.
Man, that is some serious snow. Look at that. That is a big old clump of snow.
Since you know the further you get away from the equator, it gets colder. Countries, states, and cities that are closer to the equator have warmer climates. In the United States, the northern states are further from the equator, thus have colder temperatures on average. This is where some kid wants to explain to us how I'm wrong because it was really cold when he visited his grandparents near Reno, Nevada one time. And I'm obviously wrong, and Briggs is lying to you because it's cold in Reno and Reno's in Nevada. It just goes on. So let's see what states are the coldest.
All right.
Number 10, Idaho and Michigan. That's right, Idaho and Michigan share the number 10 spot. You almost live in Canada, so there's no buffer states between you and those Arctic winds that come howling out of Canada. The trade-off is you're just a short drive from cheaper prescription drugs, so that's something. The average temperature for Idaho and Michigan is 44.4 degrees Fahrenheit or 6.9 Celsius. Winter in some parts of Michigan begins well before Thanksgiving and can stay past Easter. This is a lot of fun for like the first...
That's like 6 months. Thanksgiving, that's like November sometime, and yeah, Easter's like, mid-April or 4th of April, something like that. That's a long winter. Oh, have I muted it?
After that, you're just dealing with it. Idaho winters in the northern chimney section get a little rough, but they have good skiing, and more Californians are moving there every single day. So that's something. Idaho people are very excited about this. They want Californians there. Just ask any of them. So Californians, if you're looking for a new state, head on up to Idaho. They want you. Number 9, New Hampshire. There's a certain type...
New Hampshire. Like a Boston accent over there, I think, right?
Type of weird that comes with living in an area that has the potential to get over 70 inches of snow a year. Now, if that doesn't bother you, that much snow, congratulations, you're weird enough for New Hampshire. There's a lot of snow in this state. The Granite State gets cold. The Travel Channel claims they're the winter wonderland. That's what they call them. They have every winter activity you can do. That includes getting lost on a hike and freezing to death in New Hampshire. Yeah, that happens a couple times a year there. New Hampshire's average temperature is 48.3 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's 6.6 Celsius.
Wow, man. For an average, that is low.
Number 8, Wisconsin. There's a reason Wisconsin does a lot of drinking. Alcohol helps warm up the human body, and it helps the human body get through persistently gray, soul-crushing skies that seem to last the entire winter. When you're near a large body of water, the average temperature dips. Wisconsin has Lake Superior to the north, which is a large body of water, and Lake Michigan to the east, which is an equally large body of water. They get cold. Watch a Green Bay Packer home game any November or December. Look at how miserable the players are. And
yeah, like I saw some footage of a Green Bay Packer game, and it was just the field had snow on it, like thick snow. I was like, dude, like, so they play in the snow? Like, how are they gonna run?
Don't judge the cold by what the fans are doing. They're drunk out of their gourd and sometimes take their shirt off in 10-degree weather to prove some point, but at least they've got headgear and
Man, that car is having a hard time.
it's usually a slice of cheese. The average temperature in Wisconsin is 43.1. That's 6.2 Celsius. Number 7, Vermont. Vermont has some seriously brutal winters, with most areas averaging 8 foot of snow a year. The people of Vermont feel strange when they aren't driving something with chains on the wheels. The good news is, Vermont, like New Hampshire, has some of the best skiing on the East Coast. Now, I find several things strange about Vermont, but one of them is that one of the best ice cream companies is from Vermont, Ben & Jerry's. You'd think, coming from one of the coldest states, they would have been working on something to improve, like, warmth. There's, like, hot cocoa. When was the last time hot cocoa got a makeover? What, marshmallows? Ha! How long ago was that? Now, more recently, Vermont Senator John Rogers' brain got frozen, and he sponsored a bill that would make it illegal to own a cell phone under the age of 21. It didn't happen, obviously. That's nuts. Moving on, the average temperature in the Green Mountain State is 42.9 degrees Fahrenheit and 6.1 Celsius.
Wow. My mind is just blown by these average temperatures, you know, for the average to be near 6 Celsius, like 6 Celsius, that's a pretty chilly day. You know, that's a pretty cold day. So for that to be the average.
Number 6, Montana. Did you know that the Continental Divide can create very different weather at the same time on different sides of Montana? During the winter, it's very common for areas east of the Continental Divide to be in a deep freeze, like well below zero, everything's white, that type of thing. And over in Missoula, the temperatures can be 50 degrees warmer, no wind chill, nothing. It's really weird. Did you also know that for years, Hollywood celebrities have gotten confused and thought Montana was part of Eastern California? Those are the two things I learned from an older gentleman from Cut Bank, Montana, on an Amtrak train.
Wow, the scenery is beautiful though. Like, look at this mountain range. Just walking through here, it'd be like walking on another planet almost.
2 years ago. He also said Montana winters can make or break a person. He told me if you last 3 or 4 Montana winters, you'll never be able to live anywhere else. It gets in your blood. The average temperature for the year in Montana is 42.7 degrees. That's 5.9 Celsius.
Woo!
Number 5, Wyoming. A bad winter in Wyoming might be worth it just to see the Grand Tetons in the snow. The picture doesn't really do it justice. This is another state that feels the Chinook winds out of Canada pretty hard. It gets so cold you start regretting going to the gym and losing that weight during the summer.
Wow.
Winters in Wyoming are...
Look at these reindeer. Are these reindeer? They look like them. Look at like the horns. Or the antlers, as they're called, I think.
Usually long and cold. January is usually the coldest month. Around that time, the minimum temperatures are between 5 and 10 degrees. There's some mild times where it might get up to 50. That's about it. Get in the valleys, it gets even colder. The average temperature in Wyoming is 42 degrees Fahrenheit and 5.6 Celsius. Number 4, Minnesota. Winter in Minnesota.
Minnesota. Minnesota, next to North Dakota.
Minnesota is characterized by cold, very cold, like below freezing. Unplug your freezer, put it on the back porch to save money on utilities cold, because it's going to do the same thing. Snow is always in fashion in Minnesota, but freezing rain, sleet, and occasional normal rain are all possible during the winter months in Minnesota. Parts of northern Minnesota see 170 inches of snow in the winter.
170 inches. So like, let's say 6 inches is, say, what, that much? Gosh, that is just an insane amount of snow.
70 inches. That's as tall as me standing on my own shoulders with my hands above my head, and I'm still 20 inches short. The average temperature in Minnesota is 41.2 degrees Fahrenheit and 5.1 Celsius.
We're getting really cold now.
Number 3, Maine. More than 80% of Maine's land is forested. There are entire huge 1,000-mile patches of land that are uninhabited or barely inhabited. And that's because northern Maine has winters that polar bears would try and avoid. The coast and the southern section where people actually live have more moderate winters thanks to the Atlantic. You know, the winters are cold, but prolonged extreme cold spells are rare. Average annual snowfall in Maine is 50 to 70 inches along the coast and 60 to 120 inches inland. But that northern section, it is rough. The average temperature in Maine is 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 5.0 Celsius. Number 2, North Dakota. A North Dakota winter is as cold and unforgiving as a lover you've wronged. That's what a drill sergeant told me
That's a good one. I'm gonna steal that one.
once. At 19 years old, I thought to myself, who on earth would be this man's lover? But I still wrote it down in my journal I was keeping. 3 or 4 years later, I started dating my ex-girlfriend's cousin. She kicked a dent in my car door, threw a book at my head, and called my barracks to inform them I was doing drugs. I wasn't, but I still had to take a pee test once a week for 2 months. As I was filling up that last test cup, I thought to myself, it must be cold in North Dakota. Snow is the main form of winter precipitation in North Dakota, and it's brutal. Freezing rain, ice, sleet, it's all there. You get all of them there. That open prairie, it's rough in North Dakota. The average temperature for North Dakota is 40.4 degrees Fahrenheit, 4.7 Celsius.
Man.
And number 1.
Number 1, what's it gonna be? It's gotta be Alaska, surely.
Alaska.
Yeah.
If you didn't see this one coming, you don't read, watch TV, or really talk to people. Alaska is cold. Every movie that had anything to do with Alaska prior to 1980 involved an igloo and some Eskimos, and the occasional toothless prospector that was angry about something. Alaska winters are harsh. The entire state can be cloaked in a blanket of snow for months at a time, and they go days with little or no sunshine. Alaska's second largest town, Fairbanks, will reach temperatures of minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit nearly every single winter. Snowfall throughout the state varies significantly. Some of the mountainous regions receive 1,000 inches a year. 1,000 inches. I'm not even going to try and compare that to anything. That's 1,000 inches of snow. That's crazy. The average temperature for Alaska is 26.6 degrees Fahrenheit and minus 3 Celsius.
Wow. Average. Gee whiz. Man, I knew Alaska was cold, but God, I didn't know it was that cold. The average temperature in Alaska is minus 3 Celsius. Minus 3. Like, minus 3 is like over here. That's like December cold. That's cold. That's like, you know, scarves, jumpers, you know, parka jackets, woolly hats. So for that to be the average year round, dude, I can't imagine how much, like, you know, the energy bills must be like for people who live there. You constantly got to have your heater on, right? Like, yeah, freezing. I didn't think Maine would be that cold either, but yeah, I was surprised by that one. Yeah, there's a lot of really cold states in America. This blew my mind. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and keep throwing the recommendations my way. I know I say it all the time, but they genuinely help me out, because if I know you enjoyed watching something, I'll definitely enjoy reacting to it. So like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, keep throwing the recommendations, and I'll catch you in the next one.